Hi everybody, I'm Dominic, or Dom as I'm universally known, Dom Gribbin. I'm a sea kayaker of late, but I'll be honest, I've probably got 45 years of whitewater paddling behind me. And that's, you know, sort of various whitewater rivers around the world, most continents of the world. But I'm turning my attention to something new. And it's this, I'm intending to circumnavigate mainland Great Britain. It's a journey of at least 2,300 miles. And my circumnavigation will be hopefully the entire mainland Great Britain, namely the northwest of Scotland and the big right turn at Cape Wrath and the north coast of Scotland and so forth. That's very important to me. It's got to be the whole thing. So here I am, just on a sort of dawdle paddle really on the south coast, checking out kit and so forth. Well, this, for instance, my Insta360, this is going to be one of the main platforms for hopefully producing a weekly diary update on progress. That's the plan anyway. Of course, that's allowing for things like my state of tiredness. I've got to average 25 miles a day minimum. Ideally do longer days, but that's a minimum requirement. You're talking about a journey length here that's really going to take at least 92 days, probably more, and will take us from the 2nd of June when we launch at Crinan in northwest Scotland, clockwise around Great Britain, hopefully ending back at Crinan at some point in mid-September onwards. I certainly want to be finished by the end of September. That would not be ideal if we finished much later than that for various reasons. Most importantly, sea conditions. Generally we have a good October, early October, but you know, this is an endurance event. This is not going to be a sightseeing tour as such, although I'm recording as much of it as I can so that you, the watchers, can enjoy it with me. But obviously it isn't a sightseeing tour in the strict sense of the word. I am basically getting up each morning with the intention of getting as many miles under the belt as I can. I've certainly never undertaken anything quite as big as this ever in my life. It's without a doubt the biggest endurance event that I've ever undertaken. Done lots of training, doing lots of training. Bear in mind, this has been sort of gnawing away at me for a long while, this idea. It's not new. But the wonderful development about 4 or 5 months ago was that Nicola, my wife, I told her what I intended, broadly speaking, and she immediately jumped on board and offered to be my mobile shore support. So though I'm undertaking this journey solo, I do have the wonderful luxury of a motorhome at the end of each day, and my wife, my wonderful wife Nicola, to come back to. That's going to make a huge psychological difference each day, and I'll feel sort of secure, you know, in that knowledge on the water, despite being solo. Why are we doing it? Well, we're doing it, as I say, for selfish reasons, driven by my long-standing desire to sea kayak around Great Britain, but also we are actually doing it to raise money for three dreadful conditions which afflict people: Parkinson's, atrial fibrillation and migraine. And on the subject of migraine, Nicola, my wife, has been a long-term, since 16, chronic sufferer. So we've got real skin in the game here. Not only that, but my friends, they know who they are when they watch this video. They also, some of them also suffer from these awful situations, and I just want to do the most I can for people who are very near and very dear to me, and the least I can do is get a bit tired for the next 3.5+ months for them to hopefully drive breakthroughs in the treatment of these conditions, and so that's really what it's all about. So I should add a little footnote here. We're not this is the royal we, as in Nicola and myself, we're not completely new to the concept of circumnavigating Great Britain. Back in 2004, we circumnavigated Great Britain in a motor vessel, so a more conventional vessel. Saying that, it was only a 20-foot motor vessel, a little boat called a Hardy Pilot to those in the know. Not the obvious choice for a circumnavigation of Britain. In fact, we ended up going via Eastern Ireland, actually, on that particular venture because of weather. But yeah, actually the boat proved itself very worthy. But anyway, suffice to say, we learnt an awful lot from that excursion, and I hope to sort of glean wisdom from that. This is for a later edition of this, but there's a lot of sort of, you know, circumnavigating Britain, half of it's physical, the other half is up in your head. It's up here. It's, you know, sometimes when I'm thinking about what I'm about to undertake, this 2,300 miles, like I'm sitting on the start line, I'm thinking, oh my God, what the hell am I undertaking? It's like an avalanche of what if, you know. But anyway, having done it once before, I've got obviously a huge bit of faith that I know it can be done, and I know that if I'm sensible and I don't fall for the classic blunder, which is to feel like you've got something chomping at your trousers and you set off into conditions which frankly are unfavourable. If I don't do that and I show patience and resilience with that sense of impatience to get round, and I choose my weather windows well, then I hope that all will be good, and that I can enjoy the champagne at the finish line, you know. Oh, by the way, we're setting off from Crinan in northwest Scotland. A wonderful place. I'll go into it later on my video diaries, but it's the most awesome place, and it's very near and dear to Nicola and myself for lots of different reasons. It also happens to be geographically the perfect launch point, because people are often asking me, why are you setting off from northwest Scotland? You know, you're from sort of the counties. You're a counties boy. In fact, I live totally landlocked in central Bedfordshire, about as far away from the sea as you can possibly get. But it's never stopped us ever visiting the ocean. In fact, if anything, it's actually a sort of weird inverse draw. I think one tends to sort of rather romanticise about the sea more if you don't live next to it. Anyway, yeah, so we're setting off from Crinan, 2nd of June 2026, and we are going that way clockwise because the very simple fact that really by a country mile, one of the most challenging and stick your neck out stretches of the whole British coast is the northwest of Scotland and the north coast of Scotland. I can tell you now, I'm going to be breathing a big sigh of relief when we kind of turn right at Duncansby Head. So to you and I, that's sort of John O'Groats really. And that compass needle suddenly goes boing south. There's part of me that'll say, you know what? I may actually make this. So there we go. Anyway, I've been waffling away. I hope not to waffle too much on these forthcoming videos, and I hope to celebrate the fact that this journey is the most amazing way to see, illustrate and convey the message that we in Britain have one of, if not the most beautiful coastline in the world, and frankly sea kayaking is the way to see it. You know, forget your sit-ons, forget your paddle boards. They're lovely, they're great, but trust me, when things pick up, you want a sea kayak. That'll get you out of trouble. Yeah, so it's a great opportunity to celebrate our beautiful British coastline and at the same time raise some money for a few good causes.